So let me quickly check if how the voice quality is good or not. So hello. Yep. So I can see the voice quality is pretty much good, and I'm going to keep this open because I'm using the phone for other stream. So it's pleasure meeting you. If someone join, if not, we can get started. As you know that for our SQL, we are using PostgreSQL relational database management system to perform the SQL queries. For this one, we have to ensure that we are following a structure, right? For this one, we have created a roadmap in our GitHub that is available for you to access at any given point of time. So to do that, you need to simply type youtube.com slash at the rate code for coin. That's our channel name, right? Once you come here, you simply click on this one. You will see that therefore link provided. The main link right now is LinkedIn, where you can simply go and follow. Second main link where we are keeping all the resources at the moment. So if you go here, you simply need to go to SQL 0 to hero. And here from the chapter number 1 onwards, we have created everything in sequential order. So it's easy for you to understand and start learning in the same order. Okay. So we will go to the roadmap section. It's okay, dude. There's a problem here. Okay, leave it. So what I want to say, if you go here right now, these data might be down. You can simply go here to the roadmap and you check the roadmap. So we have created a roadmap of 8 week and it is available in our YouTube channel. We have kept it as a simple YouTube video. So it's like SQL 0 to hero flag 8 weeks. So here it's gonna describe the 8 week of routine that we're gonna follow in order to become proficient enough to the level of flag, right? So today what exactly we're gonna do? We have already posted in our post. If not, you simply check before joining to the meeting. So we're gonna do a recap of data manipulation and then we go directly to data type. And then we will do a weekly because with this I think week one will be completed and we're gonna have a simple week one recap what we have done. So simply we will go to GitHub and I hope by that time our GitHub repository will be in working state. So data manipulation. So we already know that we are using PG exercise as our foundation or the source of truth. So data manipulation have four category that it defined. First one is inserting data, second one is updating, third is deleting, and fourth one is returning data from modified column. And this is really interesting. So if I go to the first one that insert, it simply insert the value into a table as we have discussed. I'm sorry, dude. I'm literally tired. Dude, like yesterday I read all the queries here, but no, but no, Jet. I forget to save it. This is happening on regular basis. I should do something that it auto save things. Okay, so nothing much here. You should remember two major things that if there is nothing, so this always comes in pair insert into, okay, insert into and table name and then column in which order you want to receive the column values. You can simply define here. In case any column is missing, then the corresponding value should be also missing from here, and it will hold the default value to the corresponding column. That's the first thing. Second, in case this is not given, then by default you have to put all the values in the same order as the structure is defined. But only thing or the caveat here is, in case you are doing it. and there is a column you need to put because all the column has to be put, right? So you will put a default for the column where you want to put the value default. Pass it down. Value, same thing that I talk about. There is nothing. This is literally very important, and a lot of time you're gonna use this statement. So see carefully. So it's same as insert into table column, and then instead of values, you will run the select statement that will give you a data result or data set, and that data set is in the same format as this column you have defined here, and it will simply insert this data into this columns. So this is insertion, so nothing much. Updation against here. So we remember in the check statement, the value is being dropped or filtered when the value returns a false statement, else it will pass it. So that means if the value is null or true, it will pass the value. But in the where clause, if it's a true, then only it will let it through, else it will filter out, right? So for updation, there is a simple logic: update column name, then set that the column equals to value from where the price is this one. So this corresponding record where the price is 5, it will automatically update the price to 10. It's like a price hike. Okay. Uh, okay. And if you don't provide the where clause, so it will automatically go to each and every detail of every element and take its value, the price, multiply it 1.10 and assign this value to the price going forward, right? And you can update multiple column for the same entity or the multiple details of the same entity using the column statement to segregate the values. Then deleting is same as update, where update uh, table name set value, you write it like that, right? So here's here update table name set then the column and the values. Same here, delete from. I don't know why from is coming. It should be delete table name then the condition, but delete from table name and then the condition. If you are not putting a condition in where clause, that means every record it is producing the value true. So every record will get deleted. That's the only caveat here. Okay, so now that's done. Now returning. So suppose what happened, you executed your crude operation, for example, like manipulation, like insert, update, delete. But you also want to see the values, those values that are upgraded or the values from which it creation happened. So simply you can use the keyword returning here. So if you write returning and the column name or star, whatever the value that has been factored or the resultant of this data set will be produced. Okay. So for ID it will be Joe. It should be Joe. And so the best part of returning is like it provide you with a structure where you can access the source column and the corresponding target column it is being processed and turned into. So here it is old for the old data set and the target or new is the new data sets. Say old and new. That was all for data manipulation language. Now we need to learn more about one more important thing, that is your one second. So we're gonna read about, let me check one. What's the query? Is it the query I was thinking or is this different query? We're gonna come at W2. So OBS disconnected. OBS reconnection successful. Dude, why is I don't want video. Okay, so data, right? Data manipulation and table manipulation, data manipulation, and now we're gonna do is data type. That's the one left for the week one. If our roadmap can be opened, yeah, it is opened. So for week one, what is SQL database relation database management is done. We have installed PostgreSQL. We have created drop and alter table, that is table manipulation. Data type is something we are gonna read it. Insert, update, delete, and returning is something we already did it as part of yesterday. Select basic statement is something we are already running it from the very first, so it's not a big deal. So only data type is left where integer is completed, varchar and date is left. Okay, so let's go to dude. I literally got slept. Okay, so we will simply go to PG exercise, and we will, since I'm responsible, we will go to the data type. Okay, in the data type we were done with the integer. We done this one. I will repeat it for our convenience. Okay. Okay, let's go. So insert, delete, update, and returning is done pretty much. We can practice few, but right now more important is I will simply write data manipulation. First one is insert. So is insert into table name, and now there is three, and this is standard. Okay, this is standard. Now we have 3 and 4 followed by this one. First one is you simply write here column names, whatever this sequence is values, but this value is the same sequence as this one. Okay, suppose in table you have defined age first and then the name. Okay, and once it is defined, the table will store the column in the same fashion and same order. But here you can write name and comma age in a reverse order, but get the values automatically when it being inserted, it automatically change it for you. Second one is when you don't want to put all the column, you want to put the rest of the column as default values. So the name put as null, and this one you want to take as value. What is that thing? Is your age. So stud for age. That's the case. Second one is this is the first case, this is the second case. Third case of the age. Okay, so when you want to put all the values in an entity as zero or null, empty unknown. Okay, so simply insert into table name uh default value, default values, and it will be done. Fourth one, so first one is like where we put all the columns. So this is all the columns. Second, you put the columns. Yeah, this is this is the one. So you simply insert the table using the select statement that gonna give you a result set that should be in alignment with the structure of the table. Then you can simply put it select insert into table name, right? Whatever the column sequence here is from table that you are putting. In similar fashion, you can use update table name, where set whatever the condition you want to put. You can put multiple condition as well. Where clause. If you're not putting where, that means you're updating everything. Same with the delete. from this table. Okay, so for update is update table name, set whatever the condition you would put or multiple condition you put. Where clause is important. If not, what will happen? It will take this value as true all the column and it will start updating for all the column, and that's something we don't want. We want a user specific. For delete is same, delete from, then okay, delete is and delete. So delete is same as update. In case you don't put delete from table name, it have this from rather than set. It is from that comes earlier than the keyword. Delete from table name. If you don't define any other condition, it will automatically drop everything in that record because it is true for every condition. Else, where you put a condition. Dude, I'm getting a lot of sleep. I don't know why. I feel that. Okay, so that's it. Today we're gonna talk about the data type, and that's really important to do. I need to do it properly. Any questions so far, dude? I know I'm not feeling well, but just me. Quickly stop. And data time is really interesting because if you're following the series, you know that data type is the first constraint we apply on the incoming detail about an entity, right? That's the case. So data type can be of multiple nature. First one is integer. Okay. And in the integer, they are basically four. One is numeric, second one is your first one is integer, second is numeric, third one is serial. That's integer, precision, floating, and serial. Let's click integer. So it's a whole number plus minus negative is a small int for 2 byte, uh, integer for 4 byte, and big int for 8 byte. Precision one is really interesting because precision comes with for precision, that is numeric or decimal, it have the precision comma scale. Suppose is 6 and is 2. So the total number of significant digit, I think the number of digit after the decimal will be 6. Precision minus your back, and back is always the number it represents, right? Now, very interesting thing about numeric. Okay, the number of is precision minus skill. Suppose numeric given 6 2, so it will be 4, 6 minus 2 4, number of significant digit, and the precision is skill. But if something like this happen, so it will be 6 minus minus 2, it's gonna be 8. Number of digit is gonna be 8 here. Ninth, it is gonna be boom. Minus 2 is like first 0 and it will round to this zero. Okay, it will keep on rounding to 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and once 20 is done, you need to see how to round this third digit. That's it. Basically, it is trying to say you have to round till two digit. So suppose we have 4120, right? This satisfies 6 minus minus 2, and that means 8 and 8 digit on the left side. Okay, this is 2. So till here you need to make it 0, and then you need to see how to update this one. Okay, is 4 is less than 5, so it will keep it like this, and we will keep it 0, 0. And it does look proper because 412 and 500, right? 500 because it's goes to the to two parameter 20 and 400, which is nearest to this one, 400 obviously. So answer is 400. Okay, so that's about numeric. It's one thing you need to understand. There's two things. One is numeric. The second one is double precision. So when you need to store accurate data without it being done around or round off or something, you go for the numeric value where you can put any digit. For double precision, it have variant. Real is for 2 byte and double uh precision 2 byte. Okay, what I'm getting is really like this, and this is really bad. Okay, so now remember real and double precision. Real is nothing but float 4 byte, and double precision is nothing but float 8 byte. What it does after 6 digit, till 6 digit, it will store the value accurately. Seventh one, it will round off. Similarly for this one, till 14, it will store 15, till 15, it will store the value perfectly. Or 16 one, it will round. That's the problem with this. So if there is an experiment where you want to use scientific calculator, scientific programs, and it's all about the estimate or something, then few digit doesn't matter. There you can simply use it because implementation of decimal into our storage is much faster and accessible compared to numeric. That is very specific with the data, since it has to be used in terms of money or monetary gains. So that's it. Perfect. This one. So suppose if there is entity, okay, that entity came and it want to reside into a table that is stored in a cabinet. Okay, cabinet is nothing but table, and that cabinet is in some floor. Okay, that's a schema, and then the floor is in some building that is your database, and someone managing that is related database management system. Okay, so if a value is not available or it is missing or it doesn't know, it will put null. That is not applicable. Not applicable. No, that is missing. But in case if column is mathematical and it performs certain operation that result something that doesn't make sense in terms of number, it become plus finite, negative finite, or it become any not a number. That means there's some issue with the data. That's why it came. So null become empty. NaN will become that there is a value, but the value is broken. It came with a broken value from the operation. For example, if you divide something by 0, what it should send, it will send some negative positive infinity, negative infinity, or something, right? But that's not a number. It's gonna be recursively continuing endlessly. So what we do, we simply replace this thing with NaN. So certain operation which result some meaningless information from the table, okay, from the expression, then we replace it with NaN, that is not a number rather than null, that means nothing, or empty or unknown. So that's something I learned. Uh, this is done, and I think I literally love this one. Serial, we already covered it as part of this one, so it's nothing but it's same, it's treated as same as your data type, but this is not a data type. Remember, this is something they are using it as a sequence at the back end. So there's a sequence they have created, and they recursively calling the sequence the value using curvel, and it is updating the value or incrementing the value with next val. Mm. Now we're gonna start with the proper things or the new things that we haven't learned, and we need to continue to complete this thing. Okay, but 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 before we do that, we need to understand what we need to do and how much we need to do. So it's documentation, resources, PG exercise, size, and we were here in data manipulation, data type. Okay, so in data type, we discussed that we gonna cover the monetary type, character type, then we will jump to directly date time and boolean and numeric. That's it. So monetary, so we have done the numeric that we were using for the currency. Now the money type store currency amount. Numeric store something that can resemble uh, your account value or your money in your account, right? Suppose there's a money in your account and the money in the account is $10.52, right? So you can simply round off using float because float usually does that automatically in order to in order not to stain is capacity, but numeric will store exact value as per our need. When we don't define this precision and scale, it will automatically allow you to take as much as the space you want. So what is monetary type here? And that is interesting. So if we look more, so monetary type is the money type store currency amount have a fixed fractional value precision, fractional precision. Okay. See in the table 8.3. Okay. So money is 8-byte character. I think why I feel like is just an extension of numeric bigger data type. The fractional precision is determined by the database monetary setting. The range, the range shown in the table assume that the two fractional digit input is accepted in a variety of format, including integer, float, point, literal, as well the typical currency format of. Okay. So I think monetary is nothing but an extension of numeric value with much more specific to a condition. Like you want to use 8-byte character and two values should be your scale, remaining one should be your other values or the significant values or significant digits, number of significant digits. So select you convert. So since the output of this data is local sensitive, it might not work to load money data into database that has a different setting of else I say monetary. Since the output of this data is type is local sensitive, it might not work to load money data into your database that has a different setting of LC monetary to avoid problem before restoring a dump into a new database. Make LC monetary has the same equivalent value as the database that was dumped. Value of numeric data type. So select the value numeric enter big int data type can be cast to money. The conversion from real and double precision data type can be done by casting numeric first. For example, float and float converted to numeric. Why I'm not using it directly? Ah, you can't do it. That's what I told you. Money is nothing but a higher specific scenario of numeric. 8 byte character and to your skills. The meaning is this your backpack for 3 kilometer. Okay. So select this one money and then numeric and float. A money value can be cast to numeric. So numeric is higher than this one, that's why it can cast. But then integer is also higher than float, right? Why? Like, this- SQL defined to primary character types. Okay. Okay, so now this is important. This is, monetary is fine, but it's not that important compared to the one numeric we can directly use or decimal we can use it. So monetary, I don't think you have to specify. So now character that is text or alphabet. See, so there is a character var char and character char or pp char or bp char or text. SQL defined two primary character type, character and character varying and character, where n represent as a positive integer. But both of these can store the string to up to n character, not byte and number of characters. In length, an attempt to store a longer string into a column of these type will result in an error unless the access. I am literally tired of that now. Okay, all space in which case the string will be trapped. Okay, an attempt to store a longer string into a column of these types will result in an error unless the access character are all spaced, in which case the string will be truncated to maximum length. This somewhat bizarre exception is required by the SQL standard SQL standard. However, if one explicitly casts a value to character varying or character n, then an over length value will be truncated to n characters without raising an error. So it says that an attempt to store a longer string into a column of the type of these type will result in error unless the access character are all spaces, in which case the string will be truncated to the maximum length. This is somewhat bizarre exception. Exception is required by SQL standard. However, if one explicitly casts a value to a character variable carrying or character, then an over length value will be truncated to n without raising error. Okay, got it. So what it says, suppose you define that for one of the detail from entity, you will take only 5 characters, okay? And now you gonna store that in data type, or the cabinet you have created for this one is data type of your varchar and varchar character variable length with limit and fixed length with variable length with limit and fixed length with blank padded. Uh, is the same character, no character. Okay. So suppose you allowed to have 5 character. You say there is name and you know the maximum number of character a person can hold is 5 in your organization. So you kept the name as 5 characters. Okay. So there can be two cases that possible. What are the cases? Suppose if you try to put the value more than 5, it can throw error and it cannot throw an error. Okay. So what happened if in case we will go with two scenario when you put the exact three scenario when you put the exact number, when you put the less, and when you put the more. Okay. So the first one case is exact. So it will automatically store in the value. You don't have to worry. Then second and third scenario when you put the number, the name with a number of characters into it is less than 5 and greater than 5, what will happen? So for storing a group of alphabet or characters as a word or something, or a group of characters, we use two type of data type. We have two type of data type to store a group of characters. First one is varchar or character varying is the second name. Is the same. It's the same thing, but you one is like short form and second one is bigger form. Second one is char or character or BP char. I don't know what is BP char, but yeah, it's the same as this one. So BP char very well. Okay, so varchar or character varying itself is a variable length with limit. So what it says that if you have defined its length or the number of character, maximum number of character it can hold is 5. Suppose you put a name of 3 characters, say Tom. So what is gonna go? It have storage for 5 character. It will store T in the first character, O in the second, and the M in the third. Fourth and fifth will become blank, means it will be emptied out. Okay, it can have the storage capacity of 5, but it will store 3 only. Right? That's gonna do it this way. Okay. But in case of character and it's a fixed length. So if you're putting TOM, remaining two will be filled with empty spaces or blank padded. So it will be filled by blank padded or yours, you can say spaces something. Okay. Now, in the second scenario, if the value is being put more than it can hold, that is, you put a name of 6 characters, but the maximum each of them can hold is 5. So for varchar, it will take the first 5 character and trunk and slice it and take the first 5 and throw the remaining characters, and it will be done. But in character data type, if you put more than the requirement required, it will first check if the values is emptied, then it will take it by slicing it. If not, it will throw it away. In addition to Postgres and then p characters variable unlimited length. blank trimmed, variable unlimited length, but blank are not trimmed. Okay, so it's the same. How I put in the text, so it will keep the blanks as well. Okay, but text will keep it blank, but BPCar won't keep the blank. What is BP means? I don't know. In addition, the Postgres provide text type. Uh, if the string be stored is shortened than the declared length, the value of type character will be space padded. Value of the character char where carrying will be simply stored the shorter string of character will be space padded values. The values of type where character varying will simply store the shorter string. Yeah. Text, okay, which stores string of any length. Although text type is not SQL standard, several others SQL database management system have it as well. Text is a Postgres native string data type, and that most built-in functions operating on string and declared to take or return text, not character, where carrying are declared to take or return text, not character variable. For many purpose, character varying act as though it were a dominant over text. The type name varchar is an alias of character varying, I told you, while bpchar with the length is specified and char are okay. So these are the same thing. It's just an alias bpchar and char alias for character. The varchar and char alias are defined in SQL standard. bpchar is Postgres extension. If specified, the length and must be greater than 0 and cannot be exceeded. This if character varying varchar is used without length specified, the type accepted is string of any length. Okay, is used without length specifier. The type accept string of any length. The type except a string of any length. If BP can lack a length specifier, it can also accept a string of any length, but trailing spaces are semantically insignificant. If character or can lack a specifier, it is equivalent to character 1. And it makes sense. So if char or character is written without any length specified, it will take only one character. So it will become by default one. But BP char or varchar or carrying does character varying does not specify any length of the string, it will automatically take any type, any kind of this one. Only thing is bpchar doesn't take any empty spaces or blank spaces, so it will remove them. We can check it later as well, but quickly, I think they have given example. Values of type character are physically padded. Okay, values of type character are physically padded with the space to the specified width and are stored and displayed that way. However, training space are treated as semantically insignificant and discarded when comparing to values of type character. Okay. In col- collation, in collation where white space is significant, behavior can produce unexpected return. For example, A and this one 2 calculate this 2 return true even though C locally local would consider space to be greater than a new line. Okay, so it's correct. Trailing space are removed when converting a character value to one of the other string type. Note: trailing space are removed when converting a character value to one of the other string type. Note that the trailing space are semantically significant in character, varying, and text values, and when using pattern matching, that is like or regular expression. Note that the trailing spaces are semantically significant in character varying or varchar and text value are semantic. The character that can be stored in any of this data type are determined by the database character set, which is select when database is created regardless of a specific character set. A character with a code 0, sometimes called null, cannot be stored. Or for more information, look at this. The storage requirement for a short string up to 126 bytes is 1 byte plus the actual string, which include the space padding in each case of character. Longer string have 4 byte of overhead instead of 1. Long string are compressed by system automatically, so the physical requirement on the disk be less. Very long value are also shorted in background tables so that they are not interfere with rapid access of short column values. In any case, the longer possible character string that can be stored is 1 GB. The maximum value will be allowed for n in the data type declaration is less than that. It would not be useful to change this because multi-byte character encodings the number of character and byte can be quite different. If you desire to store long string with no specific upper limit, use text or character. Use text or character varying without a length specified rather than making up arbitrary limit length. Okay, let it quit. Because they don't worry about this padding and the stuff, so that's why this one interesting. VP doesn't have this one, right? Then why don't we use it? So create table test, okay, and a character 4. So that's the one, and insert okay. So what happened? Okay, so character and char length a from this one. So number of is 2. B, good this one, and insert into good this one. Value too long for the type where getting 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so it's exceeded than the required one, so it shows explicit bucket. But we are already defining it, right? Where verify why we are explicit truncating, and then select. So, and then we are checking the length. So okay is 2, that makes sense. Good shows 5. Why 5? It should be 4, right? Because varchar should remove all this one, right? And I can understand this one, but I don't understand that one. I should run it. I should run it. That's the best part of this thing. Just simply, if you don't feel it, data manipulation. Simply run it. So it says to, okay, now let me run for the other one. This one. And I will just, and it should fail here, right? And it does fail. Relation text 1. Okay. Drop table if exists just to 1. Drop table if exists just to. Okay, table tester does not accept. Okay, this is a notice error value too long for a character where carrying 5. So here it comes. Here it comes. It says you have defined varchar as a 5, but the value you are inserting is way bigger than this one, and that's the reason it is failing, right? Let's keep it like this. Now it inserted and value came as 255. But my question is again same. If my good with this spacing come. Okay, let's move 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Now run it. Still 5. So 4, and does it consider that white space as one, as a whole character? Right? So if that's the case, if I keep it here, then it should be 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not it. Okay. If I do this one, error value too long for varchar 5. So 1, 1, and I will do 1, 2. Hmm. And now it says 5 because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if I remove one more, this one space and keep one space, so it should be 4, right? It is still 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's still 5. I don't get it. I don't get it. 5 is, how is the 5? Is it considered this empty space 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then cannot be 6? Okay, continuous space is considered as 1? I think so. Mm. And that's why but then the length. Oh, sorry. Then I want to understand if that's the case, why the length is coming as. If that's the case, why the length is coming as 5 here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't understand this one. I can understand that's the 2. Okay, at least. Then become 3. Then become 4. Then become 5. I throw in. One thing I don't understand at the moment that. Okay, this is. One thing I still don't understand here because I was not reading it properly. Uh, okay, it's five. Where it is inserting and okay, B5. Character length will be five. I don't, I don't understand this thing. Explicit truncate, I got it. Varchar truncate, the string is a slicer, I do get it. It's gonna slice first five character, and it did that, and that's why I got this one five. But one, two, three, four, five, six, var five. Oh, get it out. Let's read it again. Okay, SQL defined two primary character types, varchar and char. Okay, where n is a positive integer. Okay, both of these type can store a string up to n characters, not byte in length. That is number of character. An attempt to store a longer string into a column of these type will result in an error unless the access character are all space. Access character are all space. Okay. In which case the string will be truncated to the maximum length. This somewhat bizarre exception is required in SQL standard. However, if one explicitly casts a value of this and this, then turnover result will be truncated to n. What it does mean. However, if one explicitly casts a value to varchar or this one, then an overlength value will be truncated to n characters. Okay, without raising an error. Oh, this is the one I was talking about. The one when you explicitly convert it with n, it will not slice it. Then an overlength value will be truncated to n character without raising an error. This too is required by the SQL standard if a string to be stored in a shorter than declared length. Okay, value of the type character if the string to be stored is shorter than the declared length. Values of the type character will be space padded. It will be space padded. Value of type varchar will be simply store the shorter string. Okay. In addition, Postgres provide the text type which stores a string of any length, although the type text type is not in SQL standard. Several other SQL database management systems have it as well. Text in Postgres native string data type in the most built-in function operating on a string are declared to take or return text, not character varying. For many purpose, character varying act as though it were dominant over text. The type name varchar is an alias to for character varying, while vpchar with fixed specific specifier and character are alias for character. The character and char alias are defined in SQL in Postgres extension. If specified, the length n must be greater than 0 and cannot exceed. This is the range of a number of characters they can hold. If character once 10,000, 1,000, like million, 1 million. If character varchar is used without length specify the type except a string of an like a text input. As a length specifier, it can also, if it lacks a length specifier, it can also accept any length. But trailing spaces are semantically insignificant if character lack a specifier, then it is by default one. Values of type character are physically padded with a space to specific width and are stored displaying the way. However, trailing spaces are treated as semantic insignificant and discarded when comparing two values of the type. Hmm. The character that can be stored in any of these data type are defined by the database character set, which is selected when database is created regardless of the specific character set. The character with code 0, sometimes called null, cannot be stored for monitoring. The store requirement for short string is 1 byte plus the actual string, which include the space padding in the case of character, and longer. Okay, character type do not interfere with the rapid access of the query. In any case, the longest possible character string can be stored about 1 GB maximum value that may allow for in the data type declaration is less than that. It would not be surprising to suggest this because multi-byte character encoding, the number of character and the byte can be quite different if desired store string. So it says, so it is a character for okay, so 4 character it can store and I store it okay, right? So since this okay is less than 1, it's gonna pad the value. So length gonna be 2, but it should use pad. But what about the varchar? Varchar it does whatever the length. If it doesn't exist, then it's good. It's okay, good. And this is coming here. So extra length will be should be removed, right? Good. 30. Mhm. Oh, okay, got it, got it, got it, got it, got it, got it, got it. what it says, insert into this one, and why it isn't. Oh, why is 5 not 4? If it has to drop padded space after this one, why did it drop everything and kept 4 and stuff? Where to type this one? Select V and character V from testing. Character and but the white spaces does it as one Y? One thing I don't understand here. If I don't understand, simply open chill out. AI is being for easy access to learn. I am tired. I don't know why I'm getting so sleepy at the moment. It should have happened like this, dude. More importantly, I don't have water as well. Okay, I want to ask why good with multiple uh padded space inserted into column with varchar 5. Postgres slightly trimmed trailing spaces when inserting the varchar if the string fit within the limit after trimming. 10 character totals. What the content is good for character. The rest is so insert into this one value too long for spaces are stripped. The good value is termed as 5 as number of characters. Mm. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, okay, I got it. I got limit. Okay, now I understood finally what is exactly happening, dude. This is confusing at the moment, but I think I'm very clear. Now I'm really clear. I will tell you guys what exactly happened. Now my sleep is getting up, like is calm. So what happened? our data as alphabets, symbols, or we simply call it a symbol as like alphabet plus minus notation, mathematical notation, everything. This is something represented as characters. Okay, let's call it character. Okay. To store a character or group of character, we have two ways. Basically, we have more ways, but right now the important one are these two. First one is called varchar. Second one is called char, and this one by default. Okay, so okay, so varchar we define as this one as varchar. It can hold any value or it can have multiple value. Or char, that means only it can have one value, one character only. Okay, it can have any value. That should be less than 1 million something. 1 GB of data. It cannot exceed that. If it is, yes, it might break the system. So if I'm just using varchar and if I write a text and insert it, it automatically inserts any length until it break the system, and that is 1 GB of text as a value. It should not exceed that. If it does, then there is a problem. Okay. What could be the n as a value? N can represent from 1 to 1 million. And again, that the size become 1 GB, it start filling the system. Okay. Now the beauty is it can be three cases defined, right? First one is exact, less than, and greater than. If a value comes, suppose decided to make it 5, both varchar and char, then both will store the values as 5 character in the respective field. This is okay, this is good. That's something we want. Okay. Suppose it's greater, we define we can hold only 3 characters for both, like varchar 3 and char 3, but we get 2 more characters. What gonna happen? So it can happen two cases that I understood so far, and it is also defined here. So if it can be two cases possible, either both have value, any of this has a value, or both are null. These two cases. If it is has a value, so obviously it is going to throw an error that we are trying to insert into a cabinet where the number of items is greater than number of the cabinet, a subcabinet created, or that means there is an issue. Right. Second one is we bring the polythene or the bag without the item in it to keep it. Okay, so it's like empty, null. So if that's the case, we can or empty, or we can say empty space or whatever it is, white space or embedded spacing, padded space. So we will simply drop this one and we'll keep this one, the maximum length. Even it's also null, we will keep it the maximum length. Okay, so we will keep these three automatically. And that's something is happening here. Good with so many empty space, like there's a 10 record, but the thing is number of character it can store is 5 at max. Okay, that's the 5 at max. Okay, 4 is already occupied, but we saw after 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are the empty space, so we can keep it empty space as a character with that one. So 4 is character, 1 is empty space, 5 character. Simple. That's why the length turn out to be 5 here. Okay, it again 5. Okay, is 2. Now character, I want to check for this one. If I have an empty space of 4, I will just make it comment out. Okay, so if I have to, it's again the character length is 2, 5, 3. Ah, it's gonna be 3 again. Now it will be 4, and then it will throw an error. Yep, it indeed threw an error. So what it does, it start from this one, keep on counting till 5. Mm-hmm. Before the maximum. And now 5. GD should be now 2, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. And this one here, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Drilling doesn't have any value, and that's why it that drop here for. But in Badger, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5. Dude, there's still some problem with like. So explicitly, I can truncate using varchar and explicitly convert what? Oh, hey, okay. But dude, I don't understand a bit of what's happening here. I should have slept properly, dude. I think that sleep is hitting me hard. I can understand. Let's see how it goes. So character fixed left always store exactly one character no matter what. Pad with a space if value is short. Yeah. Five character high. Space. Exactly one space. Error too long. Okay. Think of it like a box with fixed size, always same size, empty space. Empty space get filled with a space. Variable length with a limit. Store up to n character, no padding, no waste of space. Okay, five high. High. Well, error too long. This is a bag with a maximum size. Only use as much as space I needed. Here's a private username. The bio text could then 100 use context log table answer column high select 5. Okay, when it comes to length, it is bottom line. What will happen if I declare both as 5 length and provided them with space GOOT 4. So good one space before four space good plus four space after nine characters. So Postgres 5 character. Character frame trailing space when reporting cap. So even though it is good, when shows 4 not 5. Ah, trailing both side front and back. Now, doing operation. I'll take a five characters. The space. Dude is tough. It was confusing. I think I will take a bit time. Understand this. Let's move. Don't waste our time. Binary we are not reading. Date time input, date time output, time zone, interval input, interval output. Okay. So timestamp and interval accept an optional precision value p, which specifies the number of fractional digit retained in second field. By default, there is no explicit bound on the precision, and the range of the p is from 0 to 6. The interval type has additional option, which is to restrict the set of stored field by writing one of these phrases. Year, month, day, hour, minute, second, year to date, date to hour, year to month, day to hour, day to minute, day to seconds, hour to minute, hour to second, and minute to seconds. Note that if both field and p is specified, the field must be includes second, since the precision apply only to the seconds. This type time with time zone is defined by the SQL standard, but definition explicit properties which lead to questionable usefulness in most of the cases. A combination of date, time, and timestamp without time zone and timestamp with time zone provide the complete range of date functionally required by an application. P is provided precision, right? So what kind of precision does it provide? The date time input is accepted in almost any reasonable format, including this one traditional Postgres other. For some format, order of date, month, year in the date type is ambiguous, but there is support for a specific type of ordering of those fields. Set date style parameter. Okay, I can use date style parameter to mdy, that is to month, day, year interpreter, or dmy, that is day, month, year, date style parameter. Okay, date, month style, year, month, day. Postgres is more flexible in handling date time input than SQL standard required. Remember that any date or interval literally input need to be enclosed in a single quotes like a string. Okay, type, precision, and the value. P is an optional. Precision specify giving the number of fractional digit in seconds field. Precision can be specified for the time, timestamp, and interval type, and can range from 0 to 6. So, okay, 10 keep over 6 minutes. Now date, date time input a date. So date can be any of this format. Okay, time. Recommended format is year, month, date, time. The time of day types are time t without time zone and time t with time zone. Alone is equivalent to time without time zone. Time alone is equivalent to time without time zone. Okay. Valid input. Does a time zone specific PST. Time zone is specified abbreviation, but rest of them is nothing. But time. Time is like hour, minute, second. Hour, minute, second. Time zone. You can simply write the time zone. So for time zone PST. Specific standard time. See, book 6. Timestamp. Valid input for the timestamp consists of concatenation of date and time followed by the option of time zone followed by an option of AD or BC. So that's too much. That's a time zone of -8. -8 is nothing but UTC offset for PST and offset for PST. So PST removing PST from our UTC timestamp because usually it's by default is UTC that I know. Specifically, Postgres supports several special date time input values for convenience. This is the one. Epoch date timestamp 1970 Unix system time 0. 0 Unix was infinity later than other timestamp earlier than any of the timestamp. Okay, now it will give the current timestamp start time today, midnight of today, tomorrow, midnight of tomorrow, yesterday, midnight of yesterday. Uh, all ball time. That is all balls 0000. Output. Ah, yes. So the output format of the date time type can be set to one of the four style ISO SQL traditional, Postgres, and German. I think ISO is the best one. Time zone, don't need to worry. Interval direction. I think I don't need to worry on this one. Boolean is like true and false. We already see that. True, false, one and two. One byte character. True, false, yes. Get a type input function of the type Boolean except represent true state. True, yes, on one. Okay, on and off. One and zero. Yes and no, and true and false. Okay. Boolean made true and false. The The keyword true and false are preferred SQL compliant method for writing Boolean constant in SQL queries, but you can also use the string representation by following the generic string. Uh, Note that the pass automatically understands the true and false are of type Boolean, so this is not so for null because that can have any type. So in some contexts, you might have cast null to Boolean explicitly. Note that the parser automatically understands that the true and false are of type Boolean, but this is not so for null because that can have any type. So in some contexts, you might have to cast null to a Boolean explicitly. For example, null Boolean, so that you understand that this is an empty Boolean, or maybe like it might take it null as negative. Or that Boolean, but this is declaring in type, ordering type, safety, and implementation. In num type, a data type that comprises a static or order set of values. So it's like a list. They are equivalent to the enum type support in a number of programming language. As an example of enum type, the dates, days of the week or set of status value of a price data declaration. Create type move type create type mode as enum, and this is the value, and then I can simply use create type mode. So once it's created, you can use can be used in table or function definition much like any other type. So name create mode, so insert into values text moe happy 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 happy. So it can hold any of the three value. Ordering, ordering the value in the enum type is the order in which value are listed in this one. Okay, compile. So insert in the values curly sad and Larry sad and curly. Okay. More happy curly. Ah, so that number represent the sequence number. The value also represent the sequence number. That means whatever the value is above the sad. How it was sad was top. Okay and happy will come. Okay. So this is where I want to restrict the it's like a top down list. You can have values from this or list. You can have any one of this one. So that's like enough. When you need to have uh, a static array list and you want the person to drive it from this one, type safety. Enum data type is separate and cannot be compared with other enum type. Mm, create happiness, 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 happiness. Okay, what quiz? Okay, and it pick the name of column as this one. Each enumerated data type is separate and cannot be compared with other. Yes. And, uh, sad, and it is of enum. It doesn't have the sad, so it cannot, because this one is a different one. It is for enum. Mood as happiness. Implementation detail enum label are case sensitive. This one also enum type are primarily intended set up value. There is support for additional new values or existing renaming. Alter type. See alter type. I think only thing that I can't understand so far is Varkar and this one. It was a bit tricky. It's not that difficult. Okay, so first thing first. If I decided that I will have five container. That means I can have five characters stored at given point of time. Now I need to decide how I'm going to store. Do I need to use all the capacity or do I need a variable capacity? That means I will have five boxes, but it is up to me to take it from the shopkeeper three or four based on my requirement. So when I am totally know that how many character gonna come in by default it's a fix, then I will go for cat. And when I am not sure, but I know a range, I'm not sure because it's variable for one entity. It can be three character, for another entity five, but I know combine all the entity, the maximum number of length could be five. But individually, it is like when I know the complete length, but individually also it's a static. When I know the maximum length of entity, maximum length I know, this one, maximum length I know, and I know the fixed length as well. When maximum length is equals to the length of everyone, but the length of individual is variable. So length of individual is equals to maximum. Then you will go care. If not, you can variable. So what is the difference? If both are coming 5, 5, we are good, right? We are not worried about this one. But suppose we have like five character. This is also character 5 and varchar 5. Okay. Now the value came G O go for both of them. Okay. How it gonna store 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? First one is gonna store G, second one is gonna store O, and the remaining one it will store spaces. Okay. Or padding, space padding, whatever it is. Here, Go came and he know that there's two products, so it will only use two of the space. Three, he will keep it there with the corresponding user application or the one who is handling all this one geo. This is the first one difference. Okay. Second one for a character. For this one, white spaces means nothing. For it, one character means character. You need a character. It cannot go with the empty one. Where char is like variable character. It can have any character. Any. So it allowed the empty space as well. Okay. So if it's a white space, suppose it came as instead of this one, it came empty space or the white space, or there's a space G O another space like this. For here again, all the five will come into existence. 4, 5. First one will have empty, then G, then O, then empty, and then empty. Okay, empty, empty. For variable 1, 2, 3, 4, because there are four characters, right? It will have this one. It will have G. It will have O. It will have this one. Okay. Now, in the character, it says character. That means it should have a character. So if I count the count of the character, it will give me only two because I know there are only G and O that I can consider as character. Therefore, okay, where can it says any character. It says specific character. It says any character. So how many characters are there? The number of character is the number of spaces it filled. So one for empty space, then G, then O, then empty space. That means it has four, four characters. Okay. If not, we can check it for this one. So let's go first with the this one. So I said initially that it's gonna take five characters. Okay, right? So we will go here. It will create five characters, and I will go and keep GO as a this one. We will take the what is the value it is storing at A and what is the character. So it is GO, it is a storing, okay. And what is the length it shows? 2. And that is we are satisfied with, right? Now, if I increase one space here, what gonna happen? I told you that the characters gonna store the values as they received it, right? There is nothing kind of like over there. If not, it will always have that value. But why this color? Uh, why is not 5 now? Oh, okay, I know. It's gonna again, but the number of character take is 2. Again, it's 2. Yep, it is. But if I keep it like this, because always empty, so even if one more comment doesn't matter. Now it will differ. Number of character now is 3. And it does make sense to me now. Now let's, it should be 3, dude. Right. Now 5. Let's remove this one. And I know it's variable one. It will only hold the number of characters and GO. Okay. If it is coming, it will take only 2 recorded should save 2. Okay, yep. Now if I keep it empty here, for it doesn't matter. The number of character it is coming, it's gonna take that much space, so it's gonna be 3. Correct. And this one is 3. 3, 4, right? It's gonna be 5. But if I come one more, it's again 5. Okay, if it is empty space, then there's a problem. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then it creates the sixth. Now it have an issue. Okay, same as empty string. If empty string is there, it will automatically empty character there, it will automatically drop it. But if I'm trying to put legit value, legit character, it gonna fall. So everything drilled down how we are storing. See here. It was confusing at first, but now it's more clear to me. Okay, so now if I said like there are gonna be four character I'm going to store at a given point of time. Four characters, okay? Four character I'm going to store. Okay, let's go with one by one. Here I create one column or cabinet A such that it have a character which take four characters. So this data type character that take four characters at a given point. Then I have a cabinet B or the column B where varchar is 4. That means at given point of time, maximum 4 number of element can stay here. And same here, right? Now the first value that came here was go. Where so character what it does, it firstly occupied all the 4, put it with empty string or the space whatever it is, and then start putting this one by one. G here and O. Okay. And this is empty again. So here when I have to define the number of length, so character goes from left to the right side till it reach the last character and count it total length or total number of boxes it cross it, and that's the one, so it is 2. For varchar, it take what is needed. It take everything that describe it, take what is needed. How many character you see, you go from here, keep on going till you get the last digit as this one, as your one. Okay, so it has two digits, so G will be stored in 1 and then O in the 2. So both have two characters at a given point of time. Okay, but the spaces used is 4 for 4. It var is gonna be always 4. It will totally depend on this one. Alpha. Alpha. Okay, now let's say it goes G O and space. Again, it will take all the 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it will take that is required number of characters. Okay, let's come here. It is G, it's always empty, right? Like empty space like this. So it G O, empty space is already there. Okay, so we don't have to worry. Now what it says, go from left to the last character that is non white space something. So it is again, let's go here. It have 3 characters, so G one, O another, and empty space again, right? But do you think it's gonna use answer should be yes? Let's see this one. So yeah, it take the character it is coming, it will store automatically based on that one. Okay. Now if it's like space 0 0 space like this one, again it take 4, this empty space, so First is done, then G, then O, then empty space. And again from left to right it goes, and see here it is 3. So it has the length of 3. Length considering, okay? 4, so empty space, then G, then O, then empty space. How many spaces the character has utilizes 4? Okay, and the maximum length was 4 again, right? Yep. Now it's same here on one empty, two empty, and then a space. So now again 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, empty, then G, then O, then empty, and here empty. Now see here, if it is empty, I'm trying to insert, there is no space required, empty can be removed, right? So there is no problem. I can keep it like this. Now I can count from left to right, and the last is again 3. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 5 boxes, 3, 4, 4, 5. It will be empty, then G, then O, empty, empty. But how many uh, character can I have? 4. Empty, does it make sense if it is there or not? It's like air, nothing. So it's cool. It will pass, and it will have utilize all the 4. So it's 4. Doesn't matter. Let's do this one. 4 plus GO. It will utilize both the one as GO and GO. Beware care. Okay, this one. Okay, 2. Now, if I, it's gonna be 3 because it will take each character individually. And this 3, 4. And if I add one more, what happen? 1, 2, 3, 4, and fifth one is trying to store empty space, and empty is nothing. You can simply drop it. It's again gonna be 4 because it used maximum. Because it have 4 container to borrow. And its air is gonna place or not, doesn't matter. But suddenly it become go to G B. Oh, now it will fail because if you go count here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th, 6th. So we don't have a dabba to store it, and it is still trying to store. So faster. 4, 4, 3, 4, 4, 3, 4, 4. First 2, 3, 4, and 4. It will start filling it. Take all the container. Oh, 2, Geo 2, 3, 25. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Okay, so now 5, and it will go to empty space. Empty is empty, so 5. Now it will fail. Okay, so it's a bit confusing, but that's not that confusing. But yeah, it's literally confusing. Oh my god, how much confusing I said. Uh-huh. Mhm. Nobody joins this. Dude, today I even got confused by myself, let alone other people. And it's 2 hours. I think I will close for today, even I am feeling very tired. It was pleasure meeting you all, guys. See you. Bye bye. How to